everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Missy. This is my 23, soon to be 24-month-old toddler Paul, and in this video I am doing an 8-month pregnancy update. This is my second pregnancy. I'm 39 years old and I got pregnant. I'm trying to say this sensitively. I did not use any fertility treatments. I know that is touchy. I hate to say naturally. We didn't use anything, if that helps. So with Paul, we did see fertility specialists. IVF was kind of just out of our price range. Unfortunately, where we live, insurance doesn't cover any of it. So we had decided to go the Clomid route. It's a medication, but before we could take that, our doctor prescribed us metformin, and I started taking that in December of 2018, and we got pregnant in April of 2019. And he was born in January 2020. So to give you that perspective, when I was pregnant, trying to get pregnant with him, I was overweight, had a really stressful job, didn't get a lot of sleep, wasn't the healthiest. With this little guy, I was able to be a stay-at-home mom. Not that that's not stressful in itself. I was able to exercise a lot more, eat healthier, and we decided to get pregnant. I think around March is when we started to try for baby number 2, and we conceived in June, I think, or the stats, if I remember correctly. So what I've been doing this whole pregnancy, instead of doing a pregnancy journal, a written one, which I did with him, I kind of vlog the whole experience. And I've tried to do it weekly and then combine them in a monthly video. So this is month 8. This will be weeks, I don't even know what week I am right now. I'm week 32 right now, and it will go through whatever it is, getting to month 9. I will also post below a blog post that I did listing all of my pregnancy essentials. Some of them I talk about now, other ones just I found super helpful. Most of them are from Amazon. So I'll link that blog post below. It's on missyjwhite.com if you want to check that out. How I start this out physically, how I'm doing. Physically, I'm doing really, really well. I'm trying to bring in my Bradley method training from baby number 1. So I am trying to avoid sitting on the couch. Sleep is difficult. You know, laying on your side, your hips hurt and whatnot. But I'm trying to, I've had a couple friends that are like, why don't you just sleep in a recliner? And the Bradley method does not recommend that because it's for baby positioning. You can Google that yourself. So I'm trying to avoid doing that. I sit on the floor a lot. I sit in, used to be called Indian style. It is not called Indian style. Crisscross applesauce. And Bradley method calls it this. I can't remember what the actual term is. It's sitting on your butt on the floor, avoiding squishy couches. You don't want to arch your back. You want to keep baby in a good position. I did have my birth center appointment late last week. We did blood work, which was a show in itself, trying to get blood. There's like 8 midwives there. One of them I've had 2 times, and I love the birth center. I'm just not impressed with this particular midwife. She kind of makes me nervous. She's a little frazzled, which is not something you want in a midwife, in my opinion. So she was trying to take my blood, and she was like putting the needle in my arm and like moving it all around, trying to get a deep vein, she said, that she thought was there. I knew my arm was going to bruise up. It is. It's like crazy bruised. And she kept saying like, I'm not the best at getting blood. Maybe I should go get another midwife. And then when she was going to take it out of my hand, which I've had done before, and it hurts and it's not pleasant. So I was like, can we have another midwife come in? So we had another midwife who I'm just hoping that we get. She actually lives about 10 minutes from us. And she was like, as politely as possible, also getting frustrated with this midwife. So I know it's not just me, but we don't have choice on what midwife it is. It's whoever's on call. The only thing we can work in our favor is the birth center is an hour away, and the midwife that I like is just 10 minutes from my house. So I'm hoping that she is on call when this baby goes and we don't get her. I'm not too worried about the birth with the midwife, because with Paul, my body kind of did all the work. I don't even want to say that I did the work. My body did everything. It's more of if I tear and she has to stitch me up. That's where I get like a little nervous. But like I said, anyway, I'm trying not to stress about it. So we had blood finally taken by the other midwife. That's for the glucose test. I don't know the results yet, so hopefully by next video I'll know. It is a little unnerving because if I fail this one, I take another one. Still not the end of the world. If I fail that one and I do have gestational diabetes, I am classified as high risk and I can't have a home birth and I can't even go to the birth center. They're going to send me to an OB, which kind of stinks. So it is kind of a very stressful big deal. Waiting for the results of that. What else? What else? She measured, the same midwife that I don't really care for, measured my belly, which goes from somewhere like up here on top of your belly all the way down to your pelvic bone. And that in centimeters, I think, should line up with your weeks. And every other midwife that I've had, because they rotate each time I go, has pretty much been spot on. But every time she measures me, it's like 2 to 3 centimeters off. So it's showing in my chart that my belly is like growing really fast, then shrinking, growing really fast. So she had said that if we go, so I was 32 weeks and I think she measured me at like, no, last week, I apologize. I was 31 weeks and I think she measured me at like 34, 35. So she was saying if we get one more measurement where it's off, she recommends a 3rd trimester sonogram, which I don't care, it's fine. It's just more of an inconvenience factor. A lot of people are against the 3rd trimester sonograms. We were gonna do it, but now it's just like with him and the birth center the way it is this time around, you have to wait a really long time. You usually go back anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes after your appointment time, and we're waiting in a room with a toddler. It's an hour drive there, so trying to coordinate that with nap time has been interesting. So if they recommend that we have a sonogram, absolutely we'll do it. But if it's optional, like it was presented to us like a month or so ago, like you don't need it, but you can have it done, I think we're just gonna skip it because we just wanna go there, have the appointment, and leave, if that makes any sense. So, waiting for the results of the glucose test. I'm feeling really well, really good. I'm feeling very big. At night, my belly starts to really just feel super heavy. So I'm continuing to be like super productive in the mornings. This little guy goes down for a nap. I try to do something productive that I can't do while he's around. And then I try to either just lay down on the couch or take a nap myself. That seems to help out a lot. Holidays are over. I finally painted the ceiling. The ceiling is painted. I've been dreading and talking about this for months of the nursery, which is right next door to me. So I also started painting the walls because now we have to kind of just like shift some of Paul's furniture in there. I need to get baby clothes set up. I need to go through the baby clothes and get things set up for the home birth and when newborn comes. So it's kind of contingent on that room being semi-painted so that we can at least use it for like storage. I plan on baby being in our room anyway, so it's not a big deal. Night sweats were really getting out of control, and this seems so silly, but what I started doing is just sleeping with our comforter from like basically my hips down, and I just have a sheet. It's a little cold when I first go to bed, but that seems to be drastically helping. I have not been sweating as much, so fingers crossed that keeps working. My mental health this week, in month 7, I kind of talked about how I've been really, really struggling. I have perinatal, I think that's how you pronounce it. I have depression and anxiety while I'm pregnant, basically. After the holiday season was kind of done, I had really bad anxiety. We had a lot of guests over, a lot of mental deadlines that I've put on myself, extreme stress. I was having insomnia. I was having panic attacks. I was getting really nervous that it was going to impact my pregnancy. We talked about medication. I'm just pushing back for my own personal reasons. So I'm not on any medication right now, but that may change. But I did up my therapy to every week. So hopefully that should be helping. January will be very, very calm. So I'm hoping to just mentally get caught up, get in a space where I can focus on birthing this little baby. But if you wanted to know more of that, go watch the month 7. I get really into my mental health, especially during this pregnancy. Other than that, I think I'm okay. Can't think of anything else that's going on weird. Baby-wise, oh my god, this baby kicks all the time. It's so funny. It makes me feel better knowing I'd rather them overkick than underkick. And let me see, I use a couple apps, but the one I've been using for these videos is What to Expect When You're Expecting. So I am 32 weeks at this point, the size of a cantaloupe. We have 1 month left to go, woohoo! And let's see, baby is about 3.5 to 4 pounds at this point, topping out to 15 to 17 inches long. Baby is preparing for birth. I forgot to mention this. In my midwife appointment, she measured my belly. She also checked the positioning. Baby is head down. I know there's a name to it, and he's got he or she, that's another thing, I don't know the sex of the baby. We found out with Paul, we didn't find out with this one. Most of my friends and family are team girl. I'm all over the place. Anyway, baby is head down, their back is facing out of my belly, and it's on my left side, and their little feet are kicking me on my upper right side. It also says baby now has sleep cycles. In preparation for their first date with you, your baby is sleeping like a baby with regular sleep and wake cycles. So now, as for me, the app says Braxton Hicks. I've had these on and off for a while, usually when I'm overdoing something. What I usually do with Braxton Hicks is the opposite of whatever I'm doing. If I get Braxton Hicks while I'm standing, I try to sit or lay down. If I'm laying down or sitting and get Braxton Hicks, I try to stand up. I try to make sure that I'm staying hydrated. That is hard because I just get distracted, but that does really help. So if you have Braxton Hicks, sometimes if I drink a lot of water, that will make them go away. They're not where they're painful. They're kind of just sometimes stop me in my tracks or just kind of make me aware that I need to like slow it down. So I have been getting those. And then the app talks about ultrasound photos and doing the 3D versus the 4D. I definitely did do the 4D or 3D thing. It's just like the old school black and white. We did 2 of them. I think that was the second trimester or something like that. So I don't know if we're having another one. We shall see. But that's everything I have for 32 weeks. Oh, you're being so good. You want to say bye with me? You say bye? You wave bye? Okay. So that's everything for 32 weeks. On to 33. Hi friends, and welcome to week 33. So I am 33 weeks pregnant and a day. What's been going on the past week? I've been painting, finally painting. I learned the term, it's called cutting in. One of my friends paints all the time. She was telling me because I kept saying I was doing trim work, but I wasn't actually painting the trim. I was painting the wall up to the trim. I have to take this in little baby steps. So the room upstairs is basically, there's a wall with a big window, there's a wall with a closet door, then there's another wall and one more wall that I'm doing a wave mural because the nursery is going to be ocean themed. So the other 3 walls besides the mural wall are going to be a sand color, and I'm doing the cutting in on that, basically just painting up to the ceiling and painting around the trim so that I can then roller the walls really easily. I know a lot of people use painter's tape. I don't, because I just do not have good luck with painter's tape. I'm not good at it. It's not a skill I have. I cannot get the tape straight, and paint always bleeds on me. So I have just over the years adapted to go really, really slow with a chisel brush and just do it by hand. So that's what I'm doing, and I've did a lot of it. I'm going to, after I film this, I'm going to go upstairs and do a little bit more. And I basically just leave my earbuds in. I'll listen to a book on tape, and I just do it for like 30 to 45 minutes and stop just to give myself a break. The window wall itself, there are like watermarks that we noticed under the windowsill. So I'm not painting that wall right now. Matt hasn't decided what he's going to do. If he's going to rip off the drywall there to see what's going on. He was talking about putting some kind of caulking or insulation or something, but I honestly don't really care. The baby's not going to be sleeping in there for a while anyway, so I want to get the mural wall done because that's where the crib is going to go, and then the opposing wall painted because that's where the changing table and the little cart with all the stuff and the hatch and all that stuff is going to go. I really want to get those pieces of furniture in there so that I can then declutter what's in the closet and put baby stuff in the closet. That is minusculely stressing me out. I want to get the baby clothes up from the basement, look through them, wash them, get them ready to go, blankets, swaddles, burp cloths, all that stuff, and I want to have somewhere to put it, so I need to get the room painted. I'm hoping to finish it this weekend. We have a long weekend coming up. This is Martin Luther King Jr. weekend in the United States, and we are supposed to get in Virginia a heck of a storm on Sunday. They're calling for 8 inches of snow and ice from Sunday going into Monday, so I'm hoping that since Matt is home, we can get some snow pictures with Paul. It was the last time it snowed, Matt wasn't really home, so it was just, I was like, I'm not dealing with Paul outside. Paul is my 23-month-old, soon to be 2-year-old in a couple days. So that should be fun. Have that going on. Physically, I was comparing myself to where I was with my first pregnancy a lot better. I had so much hip pain with my first pregnancy, and I, knock on wood, don't have as much with this pregnancy. I do get, my hip gets sore from sleeping on my side and rotate to the other side, and that seems to help. Oddly, I've talked in the last couple weeks about night sweats. They're really disgusting. I would wake up in the middle of the night just drenched in sweat, go to the bathroom, and my bed was all wet from just sweat. That just stopped. I haven't done anything different. The night sweats just stopped. Hormones are so amazing. So hopefully that continues. It's been almost a week now with no night sweats. And like I said, I'm doing absolutely nothing different. The temperature in the house hasn't changed. I asked Matt if he messed with the thermostat and he said he hadn't. So hopefully that continues. What I did get this week is, the only thing I can describe it is like PMS symptoms. So probably starting last weekend, it was one of those where I was just, if there was food out or the pantry was open, I was just stuffing my face, eating all sorts of things. I was trying to eat healthy, but a lot of it was like chips, crackers, snacks, residual stuff from the holidays we still had, and like literally could not stop. It really reminded me of the PMS you get before your period, where you're just like, cannot stop eating. That's the way I was. And then a few days ago, I woke up and I just felt very bloated and constipated, which is just not like me at all. So I was able to go to the bathroom and get rid of that situation. And then that same day, it was really the next day, I went to sleep. It was 2 in the morning. I woke up with lower abdominal cramps and I was like, oh my God, what is happening? I actually got semi-freaked out. So I stood up to use the bathroom, and then my mind and gut just instantly knew it was gas pains, which can be very off-putting is the only way to describe it. And it was, I remember I was sitting there, I'm like, do I wake Matt up? Do I not wake Matt up? But it felt like, I don't know what you would call the medical term, so pardon my French for a second, but it felt like I just really had to fart, but I couldn't. So, and then I was up. So I was up from about 2 to 3:30. I sat in the bathroom Googling like abdominal cramps, 33 weeks pregnant. That was not a smart idea. But I kind of talked myself down knowing that it was gas. And then I did fall back asleep, woke up, felt constipated again. I was telling my sisters. So what works for me doesn't work for everybody. Never works for my husband, but always works for me, is I drink like a large glass of just room temp water. Like I slam it. I do this when I'm not pregnant. And then I just kind of pace around. And that usually makes me have to go. Number 2, if you know what I'm talking about. So I tried that in the morning and it didn't work right away. I was able to go to the bathroom like mid-morning or something like that, but I had been drinking so much water and I was tired, and I still had like, I just felt like I wanted to give my body a rest, so I didn't really do much that day. And that morning I was laying on the couch while Paul was, you know, playing and watching TV, and then I got to stand up, and to go from a sitting position to a standing position, I was going so slow because my abdomen hurt. And it took me about 20 seconds to stand up. And then I had to waddle to the bathroom to use the bathroom to pee. But I was like, my water's going to break. My water's going to break. This doesn't feel normal. And I went to the bathroom and I really apparently had to go, number 1. And I think that was just from all the water I was drinking. Felt better, but still, I had a couple days where I was like, what is happening? And then I started thinking like, oh my God, what if we did go into labor now? Like no home birth. It would be a hospital birth. Like, just, my mind was going there. But I still have some time. A little time. Not a lot of time, but a little time. So that was like the events that happened this weekend. This week, really. My arm is still healing from the glucose test. I don't know if you can see that. I think I talked about this in the last one, where the midwife is newer. She wasn't around when I had Paul. And she was trying to get my blood, and she even said she wasn't good at blood work before she took my blood, which I was like, oh great. And she like she said she thinks there's a vein there, but it was deep. So she put the needle in my arm and was like wiggling it around, and I'm like, this is gonna bruise awfully. So it's still bruised, and I don't have my glucose test results yet. I keep checking the portal. It's only been a week and a day, and I do have my appointment next week. So I am a little micro stressed about I just want the results. I want the results. They say that I'm negative, so I don't have to take that test again, and I don't have to take, well, I don't take the blood, have blood taken. That is my goal anyway. I think really that's all that's happened this week. So mental health, I'm doing a lot better. Things have been calming down. We've been able to get into my routines. We haven't had people visiting. I haven't really had to go anywhere. I've been able to check stuff off my list. The baby's room is getting painted, so there's only, after I do that, I'll be able to move things over. I have the urge to nest, but I can't nest, so that's micro stressing me out. So my mental health right now is pretty stable. I didn't have therapy this week just because my therapist had an emergency and had to reschedule, and I told her I was doing really well, and I was actually painting while Paul was napping, so I didn't mind skipping therapy. So I have therapy next week. Still working on that, so that is good. Oh God, now the hiccups are gonna start. So let me check my what to expect when you're expecting app and see what's going on. So like I said, 33 weeks and a day. Baby is the size of a butternut squash. Baby is anywhere from 16 to 17 inches in length and could grow up to another full inch this week, especially if he's been on the shorter side. He weighs in at 4.5 pounds and still gaining weight at a rate about 0.5 pound a week. Weight gain can range from a third more to a full doubling before the big debut. I'm sure I've talked about this before. Paul was a really big baby. He was, I probably should know this, 9 pounds something ounces. He was a big guy. And the way my mom's pregnancy worked, she had 3 girls and we were all heavier with each pregnancy, heavier and longer. And now as adults, my older sister's the shortest, I'm middle, and then my younger sister's taller. I think it's just funny. So I don't know if it's gonna work that way, but I don't suspect I will have a tiny baby by any means. Baby's kicks may feel sharper now that your uterus and amniotic fluid has maxed out at week 33. I do feel the baby constantly. I think from when the midwife told me the positioning, baby's head is still down, I'm getting kicks on my right-hand side, which is where Paul was kicking too. And my mind just is happy having him in that position. So I'm really focusing on sleeping on my sides, and I don't favor one side or the other. I know a lot of texts say to focus on the left side. I really don't. I shift left, right because my hip just can't stand being on my left constantly. And then I try to not sit on the couch. That's the other one. I learned that from Bradley. So I sit on the floor a lot with Paul. I do have a basically a mega chair cushion that I got for upstairs for his little reading nook. I took that downstairs and I sit on that. There's some term for it that Bradley calls it. I'll put it right here. I can't remember what it's called. It's basically just sitting on the floor. It helps baby in the position. And then there's a couple other Bradley exercises that I do that are help to encourage baby to stay in that head down position. And I don't know the term, but their spine is basically away from your spine. You don't want their spine on your spine. And I think in Bradley is where I was reading that if you sit on the couch or you're kind of smushed, and it kind of encouraged baby to go in a weird position. There's a dog walking down the street, so Mo's going to be woofing. So baby differentiates between day and night now. Your fetus is acting more and more like a baby, with her eyes closing during sleep and opening while awake. That's interesting. And because those uterine walls are becoming thinner, more light penetrates the womb, helping your baby differentiate between day and night. Now, if your baby can only remember the difference outside the womb. I don't know if that's true or not because I wear so many layers. I don't know how the baby would know day versus light. It's not like I walk around with my belly sticking out. But what do I know? Fetal immune system is developing. Good news, your baby has reached an important milestone about now. He's got his own immune system. Antibodies are being passed from you to your little one and continues to develop his fetal immune system, which will come in handy when he's outside the womb, fending off source of germs. It's interesting. Okay, tell us everything that's going on with baby. And I was just saying he because that's what the article is. I don't know the sex of my baby, girl or boy. So then me, I thought this was funny because I already looked at this. Week 33, body changes for mom. First thing is insomnia. I've talked about that before. A lot of mine's coming from stress, and that's what it's talking about. Hormonal changes, midnight bathroom runs, leg cramps. I don't have those. Heartburn, I have a little bit. And a basketball-sized belly. No wonder sleep is elusive. Third trimester insomnia strikes about 3 in every 4 pregnant women. Interesting. I really felt alone in that until I read that. It made me feel better. I'm pretty sure a lot of my insomnia is from stress. If I just do something that wakes me up, I just need to walk to the bathroom, use the bathroom, walk back with no interruptions, and I can fall right back asleep. But if there's some kind of interruption, I'm up. What it says here to listen to music or read a book or something. What I do, I talked about it before. In the very beginning when I had insomnia, I'd come downstairs and watch TV, and then I'm just up. So what I do is I have my earbuds, they're wireless, right by my bedside, and I just listen to a podcast and I keep it kind of low, and it usually puts me back to sleep. Usually. Sometimes I listen to the full thing, 45 minutes to an hour, but at least I'm laying down in the dark and relaxing and not downstairs with lights on and, you know, what have you. But to each your own how you fall back to sleep. It talks about omega-3 fatty acids. Studies suggest that infants born to mothers whose diets contain plenty of omega-3 fatty acids found in fishy oils have an edge on terms on early development. And it talks about salmon, vegetables, you can take supplements, and then it gives you other ideas of things that you could eat. Avoiding or having fish that is low in mercury is what they were talking about there. So that was pretty much everything. I can't think of anything else that's going on really. I'm excited that I got some progress done in the room. I'm feeling better. I'm very excited that the night sweat stopped. So the gas pains, not too excited about, but I am trying to reduce my snacking, make sure I'm staying hydrated, and make sure that I am eating fibrous foods and not sugary, salty junk food, which is what I was doing. So that might have been me doing that to myself. But anyway, that's everything for week 33. On to week 34. We are on week 34. I'm attempting to be quiet because Paul did not nap for me yesterday, and I just put him down a little bit ago. He's right upstairs, but the light is really good right here. So 34 weeks. I went to the birth center yesterday and got some, I don't want to say bad news, just some like red flag news. So the last couple times, the last 3 times we've gone, they've done this measurement, which is called your Fundal Height. It's the measurement of the size of the uterus to assess fetal growth and development, and it's measured from the top of the mother's uterus to the top of the mother's pubic bone in centimeters. It's literally, they just take a tape measure and like over the top of your belly measure, and weirdly enough, no matter the woman's size, that marker should actually kind of line up with your weeks, and it did for Paul, like dead on. Like it'd be like 34 centimeters and I was 34 weeks. So the last couple times we've had a midwife, and she's okay. I think I was talking about her last week where she's not our favorite. She seems a little flustered, and I've just happened to have her the last 2 times. So she did my measurements and said that I was off. And to be honest, I didn't believe her because, like I said, I've had a couple weird experiences with her. So yesterday I had a different midwife. I like her a lot. I trust her a lot. She's the one that actually lives 10 minutes down the road. So I'm really, really hoping that she ends up being our midwife when we give birth, and not the first one. She also measured me at 36 centimeters, and yesterday I was 33 weeks and 6 days, so kind of really 34. So she said that that can be a couple different things, but not to freak out about it. And then she gave me my glucose test results. So I was 135, and she said that, you know, different practices look at different numbers, but their cutoff is anything above 135 has to take the second glucose test. So I just barely made it. And then when she was feeling around for baby, she just she was able to get the heartbeat. The heartbeat was fine. It was like 135. The baby is what she was feeling pretty much. The feet are up in my right side, like right under my ribs, or by my ribs, and then the head was down by my pelvis. But she was thinking that the baby wasn't engaged, was the word she used, and wasn't down far enough. So she did a little sonogram. She has a little app on her phone, and actually like a little itty bitty sonogram stick thing, just to make sure the baby wasn't breech. That's what she really wanted to confirm. She said, I didn't think he was, or she, but she just wanted to confirm baby is not breech, so we're good there. But she did recommend, since she's like, I'm not a professional sonographer, so she recommended the 3rd trimester sonogram to confirm that. I don't think this has anything to do with my marker being off, but she said just to confirm that the baby and the placenta are okay. So I went home and I was like, okay, trying to digest that, get home. And then I emailed all that to my husband, and then putting it all in words, got really upset. And then texted my mom and got really upset. I was texting my sisters, and then it was more of like, The baby's okay, as far as we know so far. But it's just knowing that, like, not everything is textbook okay, that there's something possibly wrong is very scary to me. So I just basically was useless yesterday. I wouldn't say that I had like a panic attack. I was just crying and really upset. And then I got like that like headache you get from crying afterwards. It was just, ugh. So she did tell me to wear my belly band all day long to help encourage baby's head to go further in my pelvis and more engaged. She thinks that might be throwing off my fundal height measurement. And then she told me to, with diet, she said she wasn't concerned with my glucose score for me being like gestational diabetes, but she said to make sure that I'm eating a lot of protein and just trying to eat healthier than I was. So I'll be honest, I was eating a lot of sweets. It was the holidays. I still am. I'm going through this phase where I just like, I'm not always hungry, but I just keep eating. I just keep eating, almost like PMS, like eating. And it's not always the healthiest. Sometimes it's healthy stuff, and then like in between meals, it's just eating. So I've been trying to do, when I was on Whole30 and trying to kick snacks many years ago, I tried hot tea, and that seemed to work. Not caffeinated, I'm just doing peppermint tea at the moment. So I'm just like, for some reason that helps me with that, like trying to put stuff in my face. So I'm drinking a lot of hot tea today, and water and protein. And I started with, I use this app, I use the free version of MyFitnessPal, and I've been tracking the food that I've been eating. Today I'm up to, I just had lunch, I'm up to 62 grams of protein, and the books always recommend at least 70 grams of protein. So I had my Killer Dave's whole wheat English muffins, which have protein. I had peanut butter on them. I had some hard-boiled eggs for snack in between breakfast and lunch. I was eating other stuff. I'm just naming the protein things that I had. And then I defrosted some ground turkey because that seems to be the protein jackpot. And I made some turkey tacos, and I had 2 of those with some baby carrots. For lunch, I also have my protein shake that I will have in a little bit, and that has 17 grams of protein, no sugar. So there's that. Of course, I Googled like large belly size, and there's all sorts of articles, and they were talking about things that it could be from, and it was like gestational diabetes came up in like every article that I read, which kind of freaked me out. Having too much amniotic fluid. Another one was you have possibly twins, which I do not think I have twins. It didn't seem like it was life-threatening, but it's still just, like I said, anything wrong is kind of scary. So we have a second sonogram scheduled for February 3rd. Matt is coming to that with me, so we shall see what is going on there. The midwife told me she doesn't even expect anything abnormal to be found, but it's more of just in case to have that done. So that is a little scary. Like I said yesterday, I was crying pretty much almost all day. I'm pregnant, so everything makes me emotional. So I'm getting like a little emotional now, but today I'm just like blah. I will have like a very high stress anxiety day, and then I will have a very low, I don't want to call it like depression, but like I have no energy to do anything today. And it's like super gray and gloomy outside, and just, I don't really do much cleaning this morning. Did like bare minimal laundry. Paul's just being hilarious and goofy, so he's making me smile, and was fighting nap. He fought nap yesterday, but he was just playing in his room, and I was like laying downstairs, and I did take a little bit of a break. So I have not painted the room, the baby's room, all this week. Micro stressing me out because now we have, I'm just gonna say 38 weeks. I have 4 weeks left till baby comes, I'm thinking, which still is a lot of time. I need to give myself a little grace here. I'm micro stressing that I don't have the baby clothes up from the basement washed and stuff, because there is so much stuff like sleepers and muslin blankets and stuff. I like really just, my nesting is kicking in big time, and I really just want that up here. I could also just have Matt bring up the bins and just lay it out all on the guest bed. I might do that just so I can like check that is done, and then I just have to put them away basically, because the baby's room is, there's painter's cloth all over the floor. I have 2 walls of the 5 walls in there. It's like a weird shaped room, painted, and all I have to do is roller the one wall the dresser's going against. But I just really just, I just can't today. I just can't. Maybe I can tomorrow. I can blame it on the weather and say that it's really dark outside. It's not a good painting day. So I'm gonna try to do that tomorrow. We'll see. Take it easy the rest of the day. So what to expect when you're expecting app. I am 34 weeks today, so baby is the size of a pineapple. Only 1 month left to go. This week your baby is clocking in at 5¼ pounds and they're about 18 inches long. This is funny. You need a visual. Hold a 5-pound bag of flour in your arms and imagine it's your soon-to-be baby. That's okay, but that's funny. If your baby is a boy this week, the testicles are making their way down from the abdomen to the scrotum. Doesn't say anything about girls, so I guess that's what's happening if it's a boy. We don't know the sex, so. And in other baby-related developments, those tiny little fingernails have probably reached the tips of his fingers by now and are getting ready for their first postpartum manicure. Oh my God, their nails are so teeny tiny when they're born. It's crazy. So me, what's going on with me? Your eyes do not deceive you. Your uterus is still growing. And you thought there was no more room, and it is now 5 inches above your navel. Visual changes, you're likely aren't seeing as well as you. Oh, so you could have vision problems. I think I have heard of women say they couldn't see like long distance while they were pregnant. Haven't really noticed any visual changes. And so that's like the only exciting things they have about me. I have been going to therapy once a week. That has been helping. I don't think this is, like I said, don't think I had an anxiety attack. It was more of just the stress of the day. I went alone. I have, I can't really just let down my guard and cry because I have Paul. So it was just a very stressful day and I'm just recovering from that today. So I think I should be okay. But anyway, that's everything for 34 weeks. So on to 35. Hey everyone, we are at week 35. So I am in here with Paul just killing some time before his nap, and I thought I would film my 35 week update on what's going on. So last week I did my 34 and I was a little upset trying to hold it together because we had our prenatal appointment at the birth center a few days before. Still haven't heard any news. I've been wearing my belly band like religiously, cut back on white carbs and sugar ridiculously. I don't know if the baby's moved. I can't really, I'm not that great of a mom where I can feel exactly where baby is. So we still don't have that appointment till next week. And this is the end of month 8, which is crazy. So month 9 is obviously going to include my birth. I have no idea when I'm going to post it. So I'll probably just do a week 36 update to tell you what happened to that appointment. I'm really hoping it goes well. I'm trying not to really think about it to keep my stress down. So, because with that, and then we had a little bit of family drama as well. It was a very emotionally, mentally painful week. So that is done. That is put behind us, and we are moving forward. This week is a new week. I started really aggressively painting the baby's room, the wave wall. I'm going to do a video on that too. It's almost done, half done. There was some water damage under the window that Matt wanted to do some stuff to. He's done with that, so we're going to paint that wall. So I'm hoping by this Saturday we get everything painted. I would love to bring the steam cleaner up from the basement and steam clean the floors really fast, considering there's no furniture in there. But Matt was not too happy with that because he wants to just move the furniture, which I do too. So as soon as we get furniture in there, baby's not going to be sleeping in there. It's really just a storage room that we need. But I have probably about 10 to 12 tubs in the basement, I'm not even kidding, that need to come upstairs. It's got my prenatal stuff, or not my prenatal, my postpartum stuff, my home birth stuff, and then baby clothes. I have so much baby clothes from my amazing friends, but what I've decided to do, because this little one grew so fast, I want to bring up 0 through 6 months and just take a few pieces from each bin so that I don't have to keep going through those bins. It felt like it was like every 2 or 3 weeks I was going through bins of clothes, bringing them to the basement, going through, it was a pain in the butt. So I fully expect this baby, since it's going to be big, is going to slam through clothes like that. So that's my game plan. And then I have a mom friend that I'm going to ask if she wants those clothes. If she doesn't, I'm donating them. Boom, they're out of the house. Get it out of the house. Plus, I also want those tubs for Paul's toy rotation. I'm running out of room. like I said, last week was a very emotional, anxiety high week because of those two events. This week I'm doing a lot better. I'm in therapy weekly. That is insanely helping. Just trying to stay busy. Accomplishing things is making me feel better. To just get to it, stats here. Baby is the size of a spaghetti squash. It's driving me nuts. And about 18 inches or 5¼ pounds. We're talking about the baby. What's that? Is it the baby in mommy's belly?
Yeah. Ooh. Ooh, little baby on you. Baby then.
Yes, a little baby.
Yeah, and you baby.
So I'm looking at the app, what to expect when you're expecting. It doesn't really say anything exciting about baby or me at this point, except for you're looking for at this point baby to be head down, or what's called engaged. I am 35 weeks. 36 weeks is when my midwife says she really wants the baby to be more engaged, and that was part of the problem from the last segment part of this video. So we shall find out. But I also need to, yeah, baby in the belly. By 36 weeks, the midwife said that we need to have all our home birth supplies organized, and I physically just have not been able to because there's nowhere to put it. Because the baby room, there's like furniture that was in there that is in our bedroom. Like it's just chaos. So I need to get that room finished. Coming up very soon, I need to just get prepared. I need to even have a hospital bag. So really just kind of like, now we're in, okay, baby's coming very soon. We need to get ready. That's kind of the phase I'm in. Physically wise, I'm feeling pretty good. The belly band has actually helped with the Braxton Hicks at night. They kind of stopped a little bit. So maybe the baby was telling me that I needed that belly band support. Man, this is hard filming these with him because he is very distracting. So since I don't have a lot for this one, in another video, somebody had commented that they'd love to see, like, here's some TMI stuff from pregnancy. Oh my God, there are so many. I can tell you one thing. I didn't have it early on. I know this is, everyone is different. For me, the gas at night is just horrific. So it smells really bad. So it'll be like dinner and after, for some reason, it's just like I can't hold it in. My poor husband. I actually don't feel bad for him because he was always the gassy one. So it's like really bad at night. So my poor husband has to deal with that. When you get pregnant, or when you are pregnant, sometimes you are very mucusy, and some women experience it very differently. Some experience it down there. I personally have it in my nose. So I am blowing my nose constantly, and it's like these, again, TMI, really gross mucusy boogers that come out. Oh, it's so gross. It's so weird. I've never had that. Even like when you have a bad cold, it's so weird. Not super gross, but at night when I get dressed and lay down for bed, I just start like nonstop burping, or I'll get hiccups all the time. I am able to shave my legs because I have a medical stool in our shower stall from when Matt broke his legs, so I'm able to like prop my foot up. But when it goes to like lady grooming, I haven't done that in a very long time. I've already apologized to some of my girlfriends. I'm having two of my girlfriends here at the home birth, and I was just like, please do not judge me by the way I look down there, because that is not a representation of how I usually keep myself. So that's kind of funny. I'm trying to think of anything else that's TMI. So yeah, I think that's everything that's going on. So we are ready for month 9. I want baby to stay in a little bit longer, but I am definitely ready to give birth to this little monkey. I am ready to lay on my stomach again, not get winded doing everything, and just meet this little human and find out if it's a girl or a boy. That's gonna be the best part. We have that to look forward to. But that is the end of month 8. So we'll be on to month 9 in the next video. I do not know when I'm going to post that, but I will post it. There'll be an end cap to that of me giving birth, obviously. So thank you so much for watching. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Say bye. Yeah, good job. Go high five. Yeah.